Mariners win 6-3 in 10 innings. They win the 3-game series against the Pirates. They improve to 28-25 on the year. Let's talk about how it happened. It was a fun one. Julio Rodriguez homers to left to give the Mariners a 1-0 lead. Big Dumper homers to right in the fourth to give them a 2-0 lead. Austin Hedges hits a sacrifice fly in the fifth to give Pittsburgh their first run, make it 2-1. Jared Kelenic doubles home J.P. Crawford to make it 3-1. Eighth inning, not the best one for the Mariners. Brian Reynolds triples home Andrew McCutchen, and Jack Sawinski walks with the bases loaded to score. Excuse me, it was not with the bases loaded, was it? Reynolds scored on a wild pitch from Paul Sewald. Weird circumstances there. 10th inning, Eugenio Suarez walks it off to give the Mariners a 6-3 victory. That was fun. That was a fun baseball game. Like, it wasn't the most exciting baseball game they've played. Certainly was at the end because, of circumstances. There's some negatives from this one for sure. Bottom of the lineup looked bad, particularly the 8-9. Although Murphy does draw a walk, but hitting 213, 250, 361, that's not ideal. Jose Caballero really struggled. Those numbers are dropping pretty good right now, but still at 261, 376, 391. Everything Caballero gives you is just a nice little added piece of cake or pie or whatever dessert you want to go with. Go with Nutty Buddy. I just had a Nutty Buddy yesterday. It was really good. I think the biggest negative before we get too far into this, I think you can kind of hear in my voice that allergies are just killing me. Ban Scotch Brew. And I know it's already been banned, but we got to do everything we can to just kill this thing, man. That plant, I'm sorry, Mr. Plant, you got to go. I know I am not the only one who is extremely allergic to this thing, and it is crushing me. It's not even an attractive plant. It's just this bright yellow, ugly. I'm looking at it right now. We'll be burning it soon, I'm sure, but hate it. As for the Seattle Mariners, and for those of you who don't live in Washington, you'll wonder what the heck I'm even talking about. It's this noxious weed that absolutely takes over the state of Washington for a couple of weeks before they cleanse it, basically, but you can't really get rid of it. There's no way to kill it without destroying all of the wildlife that you would have. So it stinks. It's a very, very, very stinky situation for me. So that's really the negative with the offense. Everybody else, Ty Francis had a bad game. Did get the runner over to third in the 10th inning, but I think he was trying to get a hit there. I don't think he was sacrificing himself. Just a poor game. He's been really good as of late. Things happen. Justin Topa really struggled. And so did Paul Sewald, to be honest with you, too. Now, he does get the 2 strikeouts, but that's your guy. You want him to come through in that situation, and he did not. But that's pretty much the end of the negatives. The positives, Marco Gonzalez battled his you-know-what off today. It wasn't a dominant start by any stretch. 5 2/3 innings, though, of 1-run baseball. He battled his command. He did walk 3. Got 4 strikeouts. It's nice to see some missed bats. Even when you consider a lot of those are called strikes, it's still nice to see that he is, not completely relying on his defense. Not entirely. A lot, but not entirely. Spire was really good. Matt Brash, I don't know if I love this whole 1/3 of an inning for Matt Brash thing going on here. Certainly does the job. Gets the strikeout, but let's have him work a little bit more. I think he's still a really important part of what they're doing, and maybe they're just trying to do this until Brash is they feel a little more confident in him throwing more consistent strikes. It's really just been that one bad outing against Detroit lately, though, and a ton of batting average and balls in play, just as bad of luck as possible. Crawford reaches twice. Julio, it's worth pointing out Julio's at bat at the end of the game was icky. he swings through a slider just right down the middle of the plate, just right down the middle of the plate. And then he gets another one that he just didn't time. Robert Stevenson's not a bad pitcher, but he clearly did not have his best command in this one. And I think Julio would like a couple of those pitches back. But tough to complain with what he's done. I mean, impossible to complain about what he's done as of late. Another homer. Like this guy was hitting 190 or something like that not too long ago. It's got it up to 242. I guess my question now with Julio is, will there be another slump? Because this is a 22-year-old in his second full season. And how bad that slump will be. There's going to be a more good than bad with Julio Rodriguez. Heck, I would go so far as to say there's been more good than bad with Julio Rodriguez already. Because of, look, we have unbelievable expectations for his bat, right? But we can't just ignore defense and base running, folks. We can't. And he's been excellent at both. Excellent. Love seeing Big Dumper ripping homers. Kelnick reaching 3 times is really nice to see. That average is dropping. It's going to go through stretches like that. He's a 23-year-old. Those things happen. The Suarez homer is pretty close to the first time that I've really had that 2021, 2022 feel with this team. And what a great call by Aaron Goldsmith, by the way. Oh, nailed it. Nailed it. He's so good. So good. Him and Ryan Rowland-Smith are the announcing team that I want to hear for most of the year. I think they're fantastic. I like him and Dan too. And by the way, I have no information to offer you on Mike Blowers, so please don't ask. It was fun. It was fun. And this homestand was fun. Yeah, it would be nice if they were against, Pittsburgh's a pretty mediocre team, or their definition of average right now at 26-26, but I want to say they were like 19-8 at one point, 20-8, something like that. So you see how badly they've been playing lately. And Oakland. Didn't see if Oakland won today or not. I'm guessing no, because it's Oakland, but I won't lie to you. I am curious just because of how terribly they've been playing. This is what good YouTube is watching somebody scroll on the internet to see if Oakland won. They did not. 10-45. Holy crap. Anyway, that just kind of proves the point that there's not a lot you can take from 4 wins against the Oakland Athletics, who now have a minus 199 run differential and have lost 11 straight. Bad for baseball. Really bad for baseball. But it was still a fun homestand so far. Now you got 3 big ones against the Yankees. Imagine those crowds will be pretty good. It's nice that I believe they avoid Garrett Cole, who, has not been the same pitcher since some stuff happened, but is still really good. Yeah, they do. They do avoid him indeed. These are some big games now coming up. You've got New York, Texas, San Diego, Los Angeles, all in a row. And all but the 3 against New York on the road. And the Mariners have not been a good road team so far this year. What a great time to change that. That would be anyway. This was a fun game. These last few have been really fun. Like, look, we had the 11-6 Marine Layer lack thereof game. We had Luis Castillo shove to win a 5-0 game. We see Big Dumper and Julio hit homers and an extra inning win and a walk-off homer for Suarez, who just destroyed that baseball. Like, that was the Suarez that we need to see going forward. He's just not been driving the baseball this year. But you see if you leave him a mistake. And here's the thing, too. Eugenio Suarez goes on these runs. He's done it for his entire career. Wouldn't shock me if this is we're starting to see one of these runs right now. And that would be big because this guy's on pace right now We are one game away from the 1/3 point of the season. 54. I've known that since I was a little kid. 54 is the 1/3 point. But let's say he doesn't homer tomorrow. Even if he does, if he homers tomorrow, he's on a 21 homer pace with a slugging percentage well below 450, like well below 450. It's not what you signed up for. And you need him. You need him to be a middle of the order guy. Fun win. Good vibes. Good vibes only at this point. Excited for this Yankee series. Excited. Aaron Judge is really good. They can still hit. But luckily, the Mariners avoid Giancarlo Stanton still on the shelf, and Jose Trevino probably isn't coming back until Tuesday. So you're only going to get a couple of games of him. Not a great offense player, but I'll take my chances against their other catchers for sure. I'm feeling a lot better. And you can say all you want about how these wins are coming against bad baseball teams because they are. They 100% are. But that doesn't mean this isn't fun right now. And that you can do the eye test here too. I would be surprised if you watched these 7 games at home and didn't think that the Mariners looked like a much better baseball team right now. And they need to be. The AL East is really good. I don't think Texas is going anywhere. Do lose today, but they take 2 of 3 against Baltimore. I'm not 100% sure that Los Angeles is completely out of this thing. Last time I checked, I think they're right with the Mariners. So they've got to be good. And they've got to beat up on the bad. That's part of it. Can undo what you've done so far. But a way to get healthy, the Angels actually are now a half game behind because they got swept by the Marlins. Wow. Very interesting. I can be easily distracted on these things, I know. But a way to get back into it is just beat the crap out of the terrible baseball teams. And, you got to do more than hold your own a little bit with the big boys too, the big teams. But you are fortunate that you've got the AL Central just absolutely guaranteeing. I will guarantee you right now, Chris Crawford is writing it down on May 28th at 4:33 p.m. Pacific Coast time. Ain't more than one team from the AL Central making the postseason. But they got to keep this up. This is the start. But now you got to do this for the next 2/3 of the year. Quite literally, almost. Follow me on Twitter at Crawford_MILB. But most importantly, please hit like. Please hit subscribe. This has been so much fun. But I sure would like to see the subscribership. I'm selfish. I want to see it keep going. Let's go. More. Fun. And we will have a video after Memorial Day, but just in case it's a Tuesday video, thank you to everybody for their service and ultimate sacrifice. Thanks. Go M's. Good vibes.